All right, lesson 6.4. It's going to be a short lesson. It's going to build off of yesterday. Just like we did cylinders compared to prisms, we're going to compare cones to pyramids. So again, the difference between a cylinder and a cone is we take off the top circle and all of that curved lateral area condenses down to one vertex. Same idea with the pyramid from yesterday. We have the height or the altitude that goes down the middle. We don't need that for any of our calculations for surface area unless we're missing the slant height. The slant height's what we really want. And remember, for slant height, we use a cursive L for slant height. You don't have to, but that's what you'll tend to see. And we have a radius. If I give you the distance all the way across, then it's the diameter. Remember, the radius is half of that diameter. And notice what's being exposed right here. We have a right triangle when we look at this in 2 dimensions. So anytime we have a right triangle, the Pythagorean theorem is always fair game for us to use. So if we build off of what we said yesterday, lateral area is going to equal the perimeter times the slant height divided by 2. Since we're dealing with a circle, this is going to be circumference times slant height divided by 2. My stylus is falling apart on me. There we go. C equals 2 pi r. And that's the equivalent to the perimeter of a circle. So lateral area equals 2 pi r times L divided by 2, and these 2's cancel out. So it's just pi r L. Surface area is the lateral area plus B, which is pi RL plus, since B is a circle, pi r squared. And we have a couple examples here. Let's take a look at what we have. We have the height, which we do not need. We have the diameter, and we have the slant height. So the radius is 6, slant height. So surface area equals pi RL plus pi r squared. So our radius is 6, our slant height is 10, and it's pretty much that straightforward. So that's going to come out to be, just to give you guys a different way of thinking about this, so you don't have to round to the end, this is 60 pi plus 36 pi, which is 96 pi. And in some instances, it's perfectly fine to leave your answer like that. 96 pi is 302 when rounded. 301 if you use 3.14, 302 if you use the pi symbol. In Schoology, I do enter in both versions as acceptable answers. Number 2, radius. Notice we do not have the slant height. So before I do any work, I'm going to go find that slant height. So 12 squared plus 9 squared equals L squared. So that's 144 plus 81 equals L squared. Square root both sides. L equals 15. So surface area equals pi r L plus pi r squared. This is 135 pi, because 9 times 15 is 135, plus 81 pi, which is 216. And the benefit from doing it that way is I don't have to carry these decimals around when I do this, and then add 2 rounded decimals together. I'm just going to multiply them now and get 679 when I use the pi button. When I use 3.14, I get 678. All right, I have the slant height. Now I do not have the radius. So I'm missing one side of a right triangle. So that means 6 squared plus r squared equals 10 squared. So 36 plus r squared equals 100. Let's subtract the 36 from both sides. That's r squared equals 64. R equals 8. So surface area equals pi r L plus pi r squared. So surface area is about, that's 80 pi plus another 64 pi. So that's 144 pi, which is about 452. All right, we have a composite. So now we have a cone on top of a cylinder. Let's do the cone first. So they're telling me this is 30 and this is 40. I can see that from the radius in the bottom circle, so it should be the same. That means I do not have the slant height that I need. So I could calculate that real quick. That's going to be L squared equals 30 squared plus 40 squared. That means L squared equals 2,500. So L equals 50. So surface area equals pi r L plus pi r squared. That's 3,600 pi. I'm actually going to leave it just like that. So this is the cone. Now let's do the cylinder. The cylinder is surface area equals pi r h, so the height, no slant height when we go back to the cylinder, times 2. So 2 pi r times h. So that's circumference 2 pi r times height plus 2b, which is pi r squared. So this is going to be, let's see here, 7,200 pi. So that's 40 times 50, which is 2,000. Double that is 4,000. So what I did is 40 times 50 is 2,000. I doubled it to make it 4,000. Then I did 40 squared, which is 1,600, times 2 is 3,200. So 4,000 plus 3,200 is 7,200 pi. So now we're going to add those together. So 3,600 pi plus 7,200 pi minus, here's where they're glued together. So we're going to subtract away that circle, which is pi r squared, and we're going to subtract it away twice. So if you want to rewrite this, this is really subtracting away 1,600 pi twice, or 3,200 pi. So 3,600 plus 7,200 minus 1,600 minus 1,600 is 7,600 pi. Which is about 23,876 if you use the pi symbol. All right, so that concludes the surface areas for cones. We have one more section left. Make sure you guys take a look at the exit ticket. attend the office hours. Make sure you're being responsible and you're getting in contact with me if you need any help. Okay, I'm getting a lot of emails about those who want to retake a exit ticket or a homework quiz or a test, but nobody's at the same time asking questions before taking that test. I shouldn't say nobody, but um, I want to see you guys in those virtual office hours before taking those tests. Okay, make sure you get